Oh, found that motherfucker.
Did you?
Yeah. This guy. Motherfucker's name is Joshua Winders. You see this shit?
Oh, yeah.
His color grading be crazy.
Let me see it.
Hey,
I've seen
we should do a little segment where we talk about like people who we think is badass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Yeah.
Dude.
Man, don't look too much. I'm
No.
gonna bring that up.
Oh, you're gonna bring that up, huh?
Yeah. In the cast, but it was crazy. You seen this shit?
Yeah,
right?
I've seen it.
Bro, it's like
It's crazy.
like he does everything. It doesn't even have to be a motorcycle shit. His typography game is hot.
Sick. What was I gonna say? There's no filter, so you can say whatever you want.
That's right. Even if it was, I'd break the rules.
Right?
Not as good.
We're rebels here. All right, we got uno momento.
Uno momento. Copy. Send this to a couple people.
11:30, you want to post in 50?
I love how people are freaking watching this,
Oh.
and we're all
On our fucking phones?
we're all on the phones.
Oh, it's already live?
I think so.
Alright. Yeah.
It is.
Alright.
Let me figure this out real quick before we get started. So for everybody watching, I think we didn't plan on going live,
No.
but so we had to figure out some technical difficulties on this,
Figured it out.
but we're figuring it out. All right, let me see. All right, you ready?
Ready.
Is that too short for you? I feel like-
Still.
Why is this yours?
Not as hard as it goes.
Nah, we'll make it work.
Alright.
Some bitch.
Some bitch, you didn't have the SD card up.
Nope. Some bitch. God damn, we are so unprepared. All right, we got it. We got it.
Mm-hmm. Take 5.
It said no memory card.
Oh fuck. Yeah. That's where your
This is why I needed Andrew.
you see
Like, fuck, don't. Andrew is so like organized when it comes to this shit. He's the one that literally keep everything in order. And he's fucking working.
He's working?
The gay parade.
Oh, okay.
He's a cop.
Oh, okay.
So he got fucking pulled into overtime. I was like, fuck, dude. So
It'd be like that.
yeah, not bad. Not a bad start to a little YouTube channel. We got 3 people watching, dude. I wonder who's watching.
It's probably my mom, my girl, my grandma.
They're gonna look at this like, why are you guys in another room? We just wanted to document this
Yeah.
on video so that way everybody know nothing weird went on. I'm just kidding. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of 1.5 Bagger Podcast. Andrew is currently out of commission and he's not able to be here, but we have a special guest. We've been trying to get him on for a while now.
Good year.
A good year. So with that being said, this is Jaime Luna from Luna Vision
Yes, sir.
and Sullen Clothing.
Southern Calling. Yeah.
What's going on, dude?
Not much, man. A fucking nice little ride over here.
How long did that take you?
It was an hour, and then I pulled over to move my GoPro and shit, and fucking dislocated my shoulder on the side of the fucking road.
All for the footage, huh?
Bro, shit sucked. Fucking
That's
yanked
funny.
that shit and popped out and
Oh man.
sat on the saddle for like a good 2 to 3 minutes, and was like, yeah, that shit's really out of the fucking socket. And got up, got in this little position that I normally get into when that shit pops out, because this isn't the first time.
Right.
And that shit went back in, and I was just like, oh, fuck.
Hating your life.
Bro, I was at that point, prior, but at that point I was relieved, because I was gonna hit you up, like, bro, like,
Come
my shit-
rescue.
yeah, like, you're gonna have to, like, I don't know, you're gonna have to ride this shit to your crib, and I'm gonna have to go to the emergency room
shit.
and get this shit fucking popped in.
That would have been very bad.
Yeah, shit would have sucked.
But I'm glad you made it, dude, because last time you tried coming here,
Oh,
it
Stator
was all
problems.
bad, dude.
Yeah.
So,
my stator gave out, and
Yeah.
that shit was whack. So
yeah.
I didn't feel like coming here without my bike
Yeah.
was gonna be the move. So I was
Especially on a channel called Always Riding
like,
Places.
yeah. So I was like, nah.
And the funniest thing is our last vlog episode, Andrew's bike broke down, so we ended up calling it fucking Always Towing Place.
I seen that.
So-
That's so fucked.
For-
What was him? It was a stator.
It was same thing as your bike. Like he got to where did he get to? He got to Mavericks.
Mm.
And earlier that morning we went to get him a new battery, and he's like, dude, my shit's dead. Like he got to Mavericks and all his electronic just shut off. And we're like, fuck, dude, I just spent like $250 on a new battery
Yeah.
for you, like out of my pocket, because fuck.
Fuck.
So we got there. He's like, I'm gonna have to go home. I'm like, why? Like thinking something bad happened, you know? He's like,
Yeah.
my shit's not working. And so I was like, fuck, all right, well.
And he's rocking with a street glide.
He's rocking a Street Glide, but this fucker has like the biggest amps and like sound system on the bike. Running on a stock, I'm pretty sure it's a stock stator and like stock like his old battery, who knows how long.
Got it.
So, but yeah, dude. But
It's still out of commission?
Yeah.
Damn.
It's where is it? It's sitting at my garage Ventura right now.
Okay.
Because we were all the way, we were like past Santa Barbara at San Ynez. Remember I told you?
Yeah.
So it was up there, and what was I gonna say? Yeah, it was up there, and then the closest thing we can tow it to was GP Suspension in Oxnard, because he lives in Lancaster, and where we were, it was 146 miles from Lancaster.
Oh no.
So it was all bad, dude. And we towed it there, and then I fucking had to make a bunch of calls, get the bike over to my garage. Mind you, the fucking keys are right there that I still need to drive down to my garage.
Oh no.
And I've been so busy this whole week. I'm like, fuck, dude. And they called me Friday, and I was like, fuck, dude. Like,
Man, bro, I'm so happy that like anytime that bike's like broken down or anything like that, I've been able to like get it home. Or it happens where like it's time for me to ride somewhere, and it's not
breaks.
it's not working properly. So I'm like, all right, well, at least at least at my home.
Right, exactly. How long have you been riding for?
I've been riding since like 2020.
Did you start out with like Harleys or did you start with street bikes?
So I started pretty much riding like around like 14, 15, 16. My dad with a soft tail deluxe. Like, kind of similar to like the.
So you kind of grew up with like the V-Class scene type of.
Kind of, yeah, like not V-Class, but like my dad was a straight up old school Harley rider, hog rider style. You know what I mean? So his shit looked like pretty stock.
Right.
No fishtails.
Right.
He had the Willie skull.
Oh,
like little emblems all over his bike.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he taught me like at that age with him on the back, and he's a big dude.
Right.
So like his whole thing was like, if you could balance me back here, like you're gonna be able to balance any girl, you know, on the back of a bike. So which is, I know that you're gonna end up riding with people. So like make sure that he just wanted to make sure I was prepared.
Right. No.
But literally, he would let me go ahead and take it to my friend's house from like LA to Gardena when I was like 16, 17, 18. So I was looking like a cool ass motherfucking, you know, youngster and shit.
Damn. And how old are you now?
Now I'm 33. So check it out.
So it's been a minute.
But look, check it out. Like at 18 though. When I turned 18 is when everything kind of changed. That's when he was all like, all right, cool. You know how to ride? Well, you're not going to be able to ever use my bike again. If you want to ride a Harley, it's going to have to be something that you earned yourself and you got to get your own.
Oh, shit.
So he teased me pretty much. Taught me how to ride and let me ride for like 2 years, you know, on occasion. Not like every day. Like, you know, every once a month, you know, like I said, just let me go to my buddy's house and I'll take it there for a couple hours and then ride back.
Right.
But yeah, so then after that, I mean, 18, 19, you know, life. I got a car from the dealership because I needed a car to get to work. And, you know what I mean? So like that was the least of my
adult shit.
You know, that I needed to buy. So years went by. And it wasn't until like 2020, I got a bonus. It was like March 2020. So it was like,
oh, this is when you're still working the corporate.
Yeah. So I was working at Herbalife, bro.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Yeah. So I was like, but at the time it was 2020. So it was work from home because of the whole COVID shit.
Right.
So I got a bonus around like March or something. And I was like, you know what? I think it's time for me to go buy myself a bike. Like, I'm gonna dump this whole bonus on like a down payment on the bike.
Damn.
So I went and got myself it was a 2012 or 11 Street Glide.
So that's your first bike ever.
Bike ever.
Fuck, you went straight to a bagger. You didn't even wait. You didn't even like work your way up.
No, because I knew that the Softail Deluxe, which was like a 1250, you know, was like, honestly, felt small for me. Because I was riding that shit like at 16, 18, you know, between those years.
Right.
So I'm like, I want something big. I already knew people who would talk about, you know, outgrowing bikes. And I'm like, if I'm gonna invest a good amount of money into something, I don't want to feel like I need to like get a new bike because I feel like you
want something you can grow into rather than grow out of.
Yeah,
that's where I made the mistake, right? Like my first ever bike was my first ever Harley was a Sportster.
Oh no!
And I didn't know
I wasn't gonna do that,
right? And I've said it in the channel plenty of times where I was like, I thought it was like, you know, when you hear the 800cc and it was supposed to be like fast and this and that. Hell no, dude.
Nope.
That shit, dude, I was pinning it like it was. Oh shit. It was so bad, dude. And I was like, I had it for a month. And I was like, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
Traded it in. Like, you know what I mean? So, but that's cool. So you never rode street bikes?
Never rode a street bike. Never grew up like with, you know, like dirt bikes or anything like that.
Right.
Didn't have any homies who rode or anything like that. It was something that like I kind of pulled the trigger by myself in like in my group of friends that, you know, are around me and stuff like that.
So you didn't have like friends that influenced you on getting a bike?
No. It was just something that I knew I wanted.
Right.
And it was just the right time for me to get the bike.
Right.
And yeah, bro, I got that fucking, it was a pretty built bike. So it was fucking dope. It definitely had like a stage 3. It wasn't just cammed out. Definitely had some more work in it. Had like super high compression. And a couple months later, like the bike started giving me issues. to be expected on a built bike. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not gonna say what dealership it was that I got it at. But
can I guess?
No. I'll tell you after. But I went back and it turned out that these fools sold me a bike that hadn't even gone through inspection yet.
Oh, dude, dealerships? I'm sorry. Like, no, you know what? I'm not sorry. Harley dealerships are the scammiest weasels of them all.
Bro, shady. So, like, I kept coming back and being like, yo, what's up with this? What's up with that? They're like, I'm like, yo, I need new tires. Like, I just got the bike from you guys.
Right.
Like, y'all let me go out of here with tires that needed to be replaced. You know what I mean? Like,
so they didn't even tell you to come back. They just said, like, hey, the bike's ready. And
the bike's ready. And it wasn't until, like, I came back a couple times and I told them to, like, give me more information about when they got the bike and all that stuff. Turned out, like,
it was a flop.
It was a flop. It was a bike that wasn't fully ready to be sold yet because they had just gotten sold to them like the day before.
Oh shit!
So
they did you dirty.
Yeah. So they apologized. They bought the bike back,
and
then they gave me Ansem, for money for the down payment. So they gave me my down payment plus they gave me some extra because they bought the bike for more than I had bought it for.
Oh.
Because of the inconvenience.
Right.
So then from there, I got myself the 2021 Street Glide Special in the Snake Venom.
That's the green. That's
the green and purple.
Yeah, dude, that one goes hard. So, I like that color.
Because I had that Street Glide. It was a Black Beauty.
Right.
The initial one. And then, again, 6 months later is when that whole thing happened and I got the new bike and it was a Street Glide as well. I wish I would have gotten a road glide at that time.
I prefer road glides.
Because road glides, they just look so much cooler. Like the stance.
Well, it depends on what build. Like if you're going for the V glide, I think Street Glides it's a little cooler. But
I was going for performance. You know what I mean?
Gotcha,
so I definitely made a mistake in that sense. And that shit was a brand new bike, 0 miles.
Right.
So that's a fucking expensive ticket to kind of like get something at that price and not be fully satisfied with it. So I was kind of like, ugh.
And during that time, that bike was still pretty expensive.
It was super expensive. Yeah. Fast forward a year later though, unfortunately got into a motorcycle accident and totaled that shit.
No.
Yeah. So fucking snapped my wrist.
God.
In half right here, and then broke my elbow.
Where did it happen? Or how?
It was on the way home after like a full day of filming. Actually, no. I went to Ortega's Highway.
Okay.
We ripped through there.
OC.
Yeah. Okay. San Diego-ish. We're heading there.
Yep.
I came back home, grabbed my camera gear.
Right.
Went to downtown and filmed a couple things. And then went to the LAFC stadium. At the time, it was called Bank of California. And we did the final scenes there. And it wasn't until then that I was on the way home after I dropped off my stuff at home and then I went to the homie's house to go pick up some weed.
Oh, shit.
And then it wasn't until after I was going home from that little ride that the accident happened. So pretty much what happened, I got to an intersection. It was a green light. And I was in the middle lane. And this was after a long day of riding. I said, you know what? I'm not going to lane split.
I'm
gonna just cruise.
Yeah.
I'm just, bro, that was the worst mistake I could have done.
100%.
The worst thing I could have done. I should have just continued lane splitting. So what happened was this young girl, decided to slam on her brakes when her car turned off in the middle of the green intersection.
Wait, what do you mean her
car shut down. Whatever, she was driving and then it shut down. And then instead of putting her emergency lights to like move over to the right, she just slammed her brakes. And we were in the middle of that intersection. So I tried to go around her because I was in the middle of this road, in the middle lane.
Right.
Which normally I'm in like the side lanes in between cars. But that day I was just trying to chill. Because I was riding, I was working. And when I tried to, and I had the street light. So when I tried to go around her, I clipped her. And
pretty much
I launched.
Kicked you off the bike.
Yep. I fucking went over my bike. Like I said, I had some pretty high A-timers.
Right.
So the moment I hit, this snapped. And then I flew over. Oh my and then I people's elbowed the fucking concrete while I was spinning.
Oh my God.
Luckily I didn't break anything else, but I mean, yeah, that shit was rough.
Yeah.
Total that shit.
Well, I'm glad you're alive.
Oh yeah. I wasn't going that fast.
Right. But
I was going like 30 miles, bro.
But dude, people don't realize you can fucking die going 10 if you hit something hard enough.
Yes. 30 miles to 0?
Yeah.
That'll do it.
Yeah, and like, dude, I give props to those like dudes. Like, I'm not even saying like anyone specific, but those guys that ride with the buckets. Dude, like, God, you got balls.
Bro.
Like, I got balls, but they ain't that big.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely the helmet came in clutch because that whole chin part of the helmet was wrecked. So that would have been my chin, you know what I mean? Like,
and the crazy thing is I wear nothing but fucking modular helmets. So and I leave it open. I never close. Yeah, I never close my mod, dude. And I'm like, oh, I need it. Like, oh no, that photo is a Simpson. But and you know what's funny as fuck? Look at both of those photos. We both have matching helmets.
You guys do? Was that planned?
No, this photo was shot a year ago. This was the most recent photo.
It's that camel one, huh?
Yeah. But I had that one first, and then that one was on sale. So I was like, fuck, I'm just going to buy it. Like, if the homie needs it, I'll just give it him. Yeah. He ended up needing a helmet. So if you notice on the vlogs, I never wear the Simpson because he's wearing the fucking Simpson. So it looks kind of whack.
It looks like he has a twin in.
Right. It's different. I feel like it's different if you're like matching black or solid color helmet.
Yeah, but no, that's like a design.
Yeah, like that's a little
points.
Yeah, little sus, little questionable. Well, that's tight, dude. What's the farthest you've ridden? Like, you do road trips or anything like that?
Yeah. So, the furthest is Reno. I went to Street Vibrations,
dude. I got a fucking story about that shit.
Tell me about that,
dude. So Street Vibe 2023.
Okay.
Unfortunately, my buddy Zach fucking passed away. So we went to his funeral at around like 8 o'clock at night. That's when it ended. And me, my buddy Julio, and Misael, we're like, fuck it, we're gonna hit up this rally. Okay. I didn't even know what rallies were. Like, this is still new to me. So I'm like, all right, let's go. Bro, we left at 8 at night. We got up to Bishop. Dude, it was like, I think by then it was like midnight already. And we're like, fuck. And Julio was like, hey, do you guys want to keep pushing? Like, try to get to Reno? Mind you, we're still like 4 hours away. Yeah. At least 4 hours. And I was like, yeah, fuck yeah. I'll slam a Red Bull, blah, blah. And this was in September. Dude, it started getting so fucking cold. We got to Bishop, and I was like, oh, dude, I don't know if I can do it anymore. Well, no, we got to Lone Pine. Wait, it's Lone Pine and then Bishop, right?
Not sure.
Well, one or the other.
It's off the 395.
Yeah, it's one or the other, vice versa, right? We got to either Lone Pine or Bishop, and that's when he asked that, and then we kept going. And then by the time we get to Lone Pine, Bishop, whatever, up there, whatever's further, I was like, dude, I'm tapping out. Like, I fucking can't. My fingers was numb. Yeah. I had 3 layers, 4 layers on. I had insulation pants. My mistake was I was wearing fucking Vans slip-ons. So all the wind was just pushing through. And then even the cop pulled over to help us find a hotel because everything was closed. So we're like, fuck, dude.
That's rough.
Yeah, it was so rough. And then he found a hotel in Mammoth.
Okay.
Mind you, it's still 40 minutes north. So we're
those 40 minutes probably felt like
we were pushing, and I was like, dude, like, I just finished a funeral. I hate funerals, I hate spirits and all that shit. And it was dark as shit. So I'm like fucking low. I'm like scared, like in my head, I'm like, what if something pops up like wearing all white? Like, I'm fucking terrified. I'm like, fuck it. I was like, I got a gun on me, but fuck, dude, like,
it's not gonna do nothing.
You can't fucking shoot what you can't see, you know? Like, so I'm like, fuck, dude. So we're like pushing it. I'm like, oh my god, dude. And right when I was about to tap out, I've had enough of it. I saw Julio turn on his blinkers to get off the freeway. I was like, dude, I've never been so happy in my fucking life.
That's I'm gonna say this. That definitely is like on like some experience shit. You know what I mean? Like, you got motherfuckers who are like OGs that ride, who are like fucking super prepared for all that type of shit. But you know what it is? It's like those are the kind of like trips,
right,
that you learn from.
Right.
Like, I'm sure like a lot of things that happened that time prepared you for like other shit, you know,
100%.
in the future. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude, that was my first ever rally, and then road to Arizona and stuff like that. And you learn as you go, right?
That's yeah.
So like for me, like we haven't done enough trips. Like we did a shit ton of trips, like 2023 to like middle of 24, but we did like I know how to be prepared for the heat, right? So when we rode to Colorado, the fucking key is passing through Needles. It hit like 110.
I believe it.
So the key is a fucking cup holder.
A cup holder.
Get you a cup holder for your bike. Go to Circle K. Get double insulated ice cups. Put your Gatorade in there with your extra ice, and pour a pack of liquid IV. That's what helps.
Cheat code.
That's honestly, dude. That is the cheat code. How to stay hydrated. And then I would.
You could turn into a raisin real quick.
Yeah, dude, it's bad. Like you get dehydrated, and I remember, dude, we went when we rode to Colorado, right? We passed through all that, and then I would dump like a whole bottle of like a liter of water on all over me. Like I didn't care, dude. I was like, fuck this new vest. Like I'm soaking myself, you know. Yeah. Dude, I was dry within like 35 minutes. Like reflecting, I'm like, what the fuck? And it was weird because when we get to like Williams, Arizona, and like not Buckeye, like northern Arizona area, it starts raining. No. And then we got to Williams, and then some other city, not Prescott, like up there.
You were going to the Four Corners?
Yeah. Go Four Corners. We're on the 40 or whatever, the I-40. And we got to like a town, and it was like, dude, fucking start dumping rain. So I was like, oh my god.
And I'm assuming no rain gear?
No. I mean, yeah, no rain gear, but it was like, dude, it was so nice, and then it was hot. Oh. I was like, what the fuck is this, dude? And then when we got to like New Mexico, in like passing Arizona, it fucking got like super cold again.
Oh man.
So like by the time we got to the hotel, dude, like I took off my socks, and it's disgusting to say shit like this, but you guys gotta know this is what happens. Like, dude, I took off my socks. You know when you're like when you see the crust, the yellow crust. I was like, yep, it was around. It was so bad on my shirt. I was sticky, but it's like looking back at doing all these trips where you might be miserable. Like, dude, looking back, I'm like, that shit was so funny.
Yeah, no, not only that, it's so fucking like a good memory. You're never gonna forget that shit.
No, hell no. And I can tell my kid, like, I fucking been through the rut on the streets, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but yeah, that's my little story on
Sick. Yeah, with me, like I said, it was just 4 or 5 of us. We went to Reno for street vibrations.
Yeah.
But this was like right after COVID. Right. So like the actual event was like pretty fucking dead.
Really?
In like 2022.
Wow. So I missed you by a year.
Yeah. It wasn't popping. It was like, so what made the trip was literally the ride.
Right.
Being at the Airbnb with the homies, going to the casinos, you know what I mean? Just kind of, none of us were gambling. We were just kind of fucking around, just drinking and just running amok in the streets and shit like that. So it was super dope. But the riding aspect was so sick. Like riding to Reno from LA, you get to see everything. You get to see like desert shit. You get to see trees, mountains, snow caps. You know what I mean? Like,
and I feel like going to those rallies, like you have to go with a good group of people. You can't go with just no random, because it's like it kind of kills the vibe.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable with you, but I'm not comfortable with like Joe over there. You know what I mean? Who knows? You know.
So it was a good little squad. It was good.
Right.
Like 5 of us, 6 of us, and I think that was a good number.
Yeah.
It was just the memories, pulling over, taking pictures.
Yeah.
Looking at some cows. Acting like we've never seen cows before and shit.
On the side of the freeway.
The highway. Yeah, bro. That shit, like, Bishop's beautiful, bro.
Dude, beautiful.
So fucking nice. That's like, again, I always talk about that trip to everybody.
Yeah.
Whenever I meet somebody new and they see me in a bike and they ask me about shit, I'm always like wanting to let them know I rode to Reno.
Yeah.
Stopped by Bishop, and that shit was like sick as fuck, bro. And then there's, I guess, like that little spot where they sell pies, or I don't know.
Yeah. Like, I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
That shit was fire though. Like,
yeah.
And yeah, it's just cool, bro, to see, just shit that you don't really see in the city.
Right.
And then that POV from on a motorcycle is like,
it's insane, dude.
It's so sick, bro.
So around the time, right? When you got your bike, 2020, when you said
2020.
Did you start doing photography yet?
No, so I kind of started that at like the same time.
Really?
So what I would do is, so I got the bike, so I would start going to shows.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like fucking Beatles shows and like Factory 47 and
yeah,
you know, shit like that. And I would pull out my camera and start just taking pictures and videos of bikes and shit like that.
So prior to that, though, did you have any experience shooting photos or videos or anything?
I guess iPhone photography and videography.
Oh, so,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what kind of got me started. Just making like little clips with like a GoPro.
Yeah.
On the with the GoPro, doing like smoking with the homies, skating or going to work, and I'll do like little cuts with the music using GoPro footage.
Damn.
And this is back when it was like horizontal shit was still like
it
wasn't even vertical. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Damn,
the good days when you didn't have to worry about that.
You didn't have to worry about that. Now you do, you know. So I was just doing GoPro and iPhone footage for like a good 2 years, and then like in 2020, around when I got my bike, I was like, I want some like blurry background. I want some bokeh, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you start getting sophisticated.
Yeah, so I'm like, I want to be able to do these cuts that I'm doing with the music because everybody seems to dig it.
Right.
But with like a better quality camera.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I got like an A6400.
Yeah.
With a 35mm 1.4.
Right.
You
Damn.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was my bread and butter there. You know what I mean? Because it was a crop sensor, so it was like 35, so it was like a 50.
Yep.
So it was like,
this is a 50, it's like a 75, you know?
Yeah. So it was like, this is like the perfect thing. So I started taking pictures. I started fucking going to car shows because my best friend, he worked at a car museum.
Oh, okay.
And his wife is like the director.
Oh,
so they would hire me to take pictures and videos of the events.
Right.
So that kind of got me into like car stuff. And I started making like recap videos for shit, which got me into event coverages. You know what I mean? So definitely learned a lot through them. And then when I got into the scene now that I have a motorcycle, I was already kind of somewhat polished. You know what I mean? To take photos and videos and event coverages of vehicles.
Right.
I just need to learn the angles of a motorcycle.
Right. And you know what's crazy? Like my background, like I came from skateboarding.
I seen that.
Like it was skateboarding, and then at the time, like I got into weddings, and then I realized how much I fucking hated weddings.
So with me, it was kind of similar. That I forgot to mention. I was doing everything and everything. So I was doing gender reveals for friends.
Oh,
I was doing graduation stuff, prom stuff, family photos. And I did a wedding too, solo dolo. Just she gave me like $200, and she's like, "Can you cover it?" It wasn't a big wedding, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I was like,
doing
sure.
a wedding for $200 is diabolical,
crazy, right? She got hooked up, bro. Because I was trying to be all cinematic with it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
$200.
God, but it was one of those things that I would have paid her $200 to even let me do it. You know what I mean?
You kind of take an L in financially, but you get portfolio work out.
For the longest time, I did everything for free.
Yeah, we all have to.
We all have to. In order to learn, why do you want to learn with paid work?
Yeah,
you're dumb if you want to do that.
Yeah,
because then you're gonna just ruin your rep.
No,
your brand. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna provide probably not shitty but mediocre work. Because you're not there yet.
Right.
So I did a lot of free work for a longest time, and then from there, paid work comes. And then I'm very much networking is everything.
Oh, absolutely.
And being a good person is more important.
Absolutely.
So you learn to do both of those well.
Oh, you're solid.
You're good. You know
It'll
what I
get
mean?
you so far in life, and people. And this is like I know I post a lot of like products that I get and stuff like that, and people think like, oh, dude, you're always getting sponsored. You're all getting stuff for free and stuff like that. It's like. Is not free, dude. Like I've worked for it. You know? Like I've shot like how many hours I put in for other companies' content, and in return they gave me that instead of me having to pay for it. And it's like
because it's not easy because you still got a day job. You still all got to work,
right?
So like then doing content on the side, that's like another job.
Exactly.
So like if you get hooked up from X, Y, and Z,
right?
For whatever reason, like with me, I get hooked up with like mechanic work. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I got the homie from Lifestyle Cycles who does pretty much everything on my bike. Painted my bike, cammed it out, you know, pretty much built it. And that was just a relationship. Like I hooked him up with his daughter's quinceañera video. You know, I did
it's a win-win.
And he's hooking me up with my bike. There's no money transaction. It's just all love. And then he's hooking me up with service. I'm providing some service as well. You know
exactly.
what I mean?
And that's why I have a lot of people like that hits me up like, oh, can you get me hooked up? It's like, I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just being real.
Mm-hmm.
What do you have to offer in return?
Exactly.
Nothing in life is free.
Nope.
There's, you know what I mean? It's like, it comes with everything, right? Like how many times have I called you like, hey, how do I do this? How do I do that? And you fucking been sick. Like you've been rad, dude. Like open book. Like
I'm not a gatekeeper too.
No,
and there's a lot of people who are in this game. You know what I mean?
100%. They'll talk to you about it, but they aren't really about it.
They're not gonna let you know. And like, I've never been like that. Like,
right?
Because I'm just not like that, and I really believe in like, if you give and you're a good person and you're not gatekeeping like that, I'm gonna get blessed. And it's gonna come around
eventually. What goes around comes.
You know what I mean? So like, and I feel like a lot of my opportunities have been because I've been like that. So like, I've always to this day continue to be like that. You know what I mean? Like I'm an open book for anybody who needs. Like just recently, I got hit up by a photographer asking me like, "Hey, how do you do your little speed ramps shit that you're doing on your video?" Like I've been trying to do it and it's just not quite there yet.
Right.
And I'm like, go ahead, get your clip. Cut the spots that you want to go ahead and speed ramp.
Right.
Add a little motion blur on that bitch.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Right.
It sells it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm like, this is not the best way to go about it. There's like the waves for the speed. That's probably the better way to do it.
Right.
I don't really fuck with that. I'm like, this is my way.
This is how I do it. Yeah.
And if you're hitting me up because you think it looks cool, well, this is the way to do it. You know
right.
What I mean?
Exactly.
I gave her the whole like lay down of like how I do it. And like, I'm always like that.
And the crazy thing is, I remember, like, back to that subject, I remember being 16 years old. I just got my first camera, dude, fucking filming skateboarding, and it was a Canon T3i.
Shit.
So I remember there's this one local skate filmer, but he was already filming with, like, pros and shit, right? Looking at his shit now, he's not that fucking good. But I remember he told me.
A lot of it is opportunity.
Yeah,
exactly. People getting opportunities that maybe they don't even deserve, you know?
Oh, absolutely. And I remember I would ask him like, hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? And me being young, I was 16, like 15, dude. Mind you, and this dude was at least 30, 25 to 30.
Shit, okay.
And I remember him telling me something, and I think I said it before too. He was like, the magician never reveals his secret.
Damn.
From that day on, I'm like, fuck you. I'm going to get better than you, and I'm going to become somebody because of what you fucking said.
Damn, what a bitch.
Dude, so that lit a fire in my ass, and I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm going to keep pushing this shit and end up working my way up. Like, all the skateboarding shit I shot was pretty much free. My only gig that I got paid for, it was like working for Primitive Skate when they were coming up, and I got linked up with those dudes, and then eventually left them and then went to DC Shoes, and I got to work with DC for a little bit. You know what I mean? So it was like, I was like, fuck you. I'm going to get better than you. I'm going to become somebody, asshole.
That's fucking sick. So with me, it was like, so when I started, I didn't really have anybody who was a creative. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't have buddies who were into it.
Right.
So like, when I got into it, it was around the time that COVID happened. Also, so like when I got the bike and the camera was almost kind of at similar times.
Right.
So for me, I saw COVID as an opportunity because I work corporate, so I was able to work from home. No problem.
That's
so that gives flexibility. You know how it is.
Yeah.
You get flexibility with that. So I told myself, there's never going to be a moment in my lifetime where the time stops.
Yeah.
Time stopped for a couple months, for like 6 months to a year with all the lockdowns and shit that were happening.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it as an opportunity to level up.
Oh, 100%.
Like, what am I going to do in this year to that? Again, time has stopped. Shit is shut down. Nothing is popping.
Right.
We're pretty much at home most of the time.
Right.
So I YouTube University like a motherfucker.
And I don't think, like, I'm not, like, you started later than I did, and I don't think people nowadays realize how lucky they are to have a platform like YouTube, where for me, when I started,
you had to figure it out.
Lightroom was still new. And I learned Lightroom because Ride Channel back in the day, it was a skate YouTube channel that did kind of cover, it was like overall, like everything skateboarding photo, and they had a photo series of different different skate filmers kind of giving you tutorials. And that's how I fucking learned Lightroom. That's how I learned how to shoot strobes. That's crazy. Dude, it was never like,
no,
you know?
I'll tell everybody who asks me.
Yeah.
I'm YouTube University. I have my master's in YouTube University.
You got the masters.
Bro, straight up, like everything that I wanted to learn or I needed to learn was straight from YouTube, and it was in that 1 year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I really put in like countless hours, like figuring out composition, figuring out my camera and its settings, and in this scenario, what's the best setting I should be having it, and why is it that I need to have my setting this way? And then eventually got into color grading. Eventually got into S-Log and
all this,
extra stuff, and frame rates and all. So when 2022 came around, it was like I went out to the streets for the first time.
Wow.
Debut myself, but I was super well polished.
Yeah, because you already had that time to put in the work. And that's where, for me, like, after doing all that shit and shooting weddings, because let's be honest, there's no money in skateboarding anymore. No. It's very rare. Like, you look at a photographer like Atiba Jefferson's, he's doing like NBA shit. He's a skate photographer at heart, but now he's doing more commercial stuff for like Nike and other brands and stuff like that. But that shows you there's really no money in skateboarding. So I was like, let me try weddings. Weddings got whacked.
And they're stressful.
They are. So, and people don't want to pay the high price when they don't realize it's like, you know what I mean?
We're not over here shooting like people did in the 90s, where they'll just have the camcorder and just film, point and shoot, and film the fucking people eating. Like those old school style fucking, weddings. We're creating masterpieces, cinematic fucking, making them feel like and look like movie stars and stuff.
Right.
That's cost money, man.
And like people don't realize it's like let's say hypothetically speaking, right? If I would shoot a wedding, I would charge them no less than $6,000. Like $6,000 to $8,000 would be my happy medium. Yeah. And guess what? If I'm editing it, like, dude, that takes a week at least. I can't do any other work, bro. On top of that, I have to hire, let's say you. I want to make sure I'm taking care of you because you're spending all day with me filming and your camera gear. Like, you're gonna get at least $2,000 to $3,000 out of that fucking $6,000-7,000. You know what I mean?
It's not just one person.
Exactly. I mean? And who knows? We might need a third shooter, and I'm gonna have to take care of them. And then an editor, we don't have one. So it's like all that shit adds up, you know. And like people don't fucking realize that, and they just think like you get what you pay for. You
get what you pay for. If you want, you could either get it with the guy who has a team, or go with that one man band.
Yeah, and he might be able to do a great job, but you're taking a risk. Yeah, it is like on your biggest day of your life. Like, is that the risk you want to take? I wouldn't.
Yeah, again, that's why I try to, I don't do them too much, just because, and the ones that I've done them as like a second shooter.
Right.
So it's less stressful. You know what I mean? Like, I know what I need to do and get the secondary shots, and I'm very confident with the shots that I get. And at the end of the day, I get the guy the SD card. And
you're like, I'm good. Peace.
Deuces.
So that's tight. Yeah. So you started shooting that. Well, you did little weddings, and then how'd you get? Because I think I noticed you when you started shooting with Westside.
Yeah, so
I noticed you around Westside and Espinosa. How did you get linked up with them?
Yeah, so let's start with Westside. So
Okay.
Westside, I don't know, when did they establish themselves? Like maybe 2022 or something like that.
22, 23.
They had their first event and I pulled up. I don't have a bunch of homies who ride.
Yeah, so it was like a
that was literally actually kind of my introduction to a lot of the people who I call friends now.
Right.
Because now there's a lot of mutuals, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it extends from here out in like LA, Long Beach up to Ventura with you and Throttle Roots and like the people out here on like this side of town, the Canyon little country.
Yeah. Wine County.
So it was pretty much a ride, and I went to the next little bike night that they had, and then I met Tony, and he liked my work, and from there we pretty much started working together. I provided content for them, and yeah, so that's kind of more or less how I kind of met them and that scene of people. And with Espinosa was my best friend Ruben. He's known of Espinosa because he's had a cut as well when he was kind of into motorcycles at one point. And he obviously told me when I got a bike, if you're gonna get a cut, you got to get yourself an Espinosa.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So it was like, again, around 2020 when I got introduced to Eric and Gil over at Espinosa's, and since they also saw me rocking the camera, they liked my work. I think they like me more than they like my work. Absolutely. I don't think my work is that great, but because that's just me. Because I feel like he has the access to like great photographers because of who Espinosa is.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I don't know if I sound just like too humble, but definitely me, Eric, and the Espinosa family, we got a lot of love for each other, and they've shown me like love since like the beginning of me being introduced into this community. They kind of solidified. I work with Steve over at Speed Kings, because they saw me as a legitimate person in the game.
It brought credibility to your name.
They've always stood by me and giving me that,
Dude, 100%. Like I remember meeting Gil and Eric and Gil too. It's funny, when I first met them, they both look alike. So I would get their name mixed up all the fucking time. You ask them, they're like, "You're a fucking dude. Don't make fun of me." I'm like, "God damn."
My bad, dog.
But dude, from day one, I literally walked up to Eric and I was like, "Hey man, like I shoot photos. I love what you guys do. Like, if there's an opportunity for us to work together, like, dude, I'll do it for free. Like, I love what I just want to be a part of it, dude. And dude, I remember him like, first thing he said to me was like, "Dude, whatever you need, let me know. We'll work together. There's enough fucking food on the table for everyone. Everybody's gonna eat." And dude, it was like, dude, that is the most humble shit I've ever heard in my life. And I think since day one, like he always trusted me. So like I would go down to Espinosa and I was like, "Fuck, I'm gonna grab fucking this. I'm gonna shoot that. I'm gonna grab whatever."
Well, because he sees the work, bro.
Yeah,
and work is fire.
Yeah, dude. And I was like, holy shit! Like I always look at it like, who the fuck am I, dude? Like I'm a fucking nobody. Like
getting respected by like the biggest in the game. You know what I mean?
And I'm like, dude, that was the most humbling shit I've ever heard, like seen in my life or experienced. You know?
So and those are good guys, man.
Yeah, like I will forever have respect for the Espinosa family. Like they've shown so much love to everybody they surround themselves with. In my opinion,
they definitely spread the love, not just to me, but to like anybody who they touch and work with. And they have that mutual respect for. They take care of them.
Yeah, 100%, dude. And we've been trying to get fucking Eric and Gil on this show.
I'm gonna make some talk, bro.
No, I know. He said he's down, but dude, my schedule is so fucked.
Your schedule plus his schedule plus
it's all bad, dude. So
like once you hit 30, bro, like shit just starts fucking moving quick, dude, and you start fucking having appointments on top of appointments and having to look at your phone to look at the calendar and making sure that you don't double book.
And that's my thing. I don't use calendars.
You fucking up, bro. That shit is life changer.
I know.
Bro, the moment we talked about the ride next week, obviously the moment you said a certain date, I said, wait a second, let me check.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't do this my son's birthday, but I can do it the next day.
Yeah.
And we locked it in. The moment you said locked it in, I put that shit and I put Cody's B-Day right all day. Right. And it's going to be locked in. Right. If it wasn't for that, bro, I'd go ahead and say, hey guys, there's a Dodger game. Let's go ahead and kick it. And then you're going to hit me up like, hey, yo, you pulling up? And I'm going to be like, oh, shit. Nah,
yeah, dude. And that is so bad. Like, I need to do that like tomorrow.
Because yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday. Because yesterday I'm shooting a home. So I shot my buddy's like proposal photos like last month. They're fucking getting married next week.
Oh,
on my birthday.
Oh,
so on next Thursday. So he was like, dude, I know you don't like shooting photo or weddings, but we're having a small ceremony, like not even a ceremony, it's like an elopement.
Okay.
He was like, dude, like I love your style. You did great with the first set. Like we want you. Like, would you be willing to do it? And I was like, oh, dude, fuck it. So we were supposed to go scouting yesterday. He texted me Friday. I'm like, holy shit. Yeah, I'll be there. Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, bro.
So
that's why I started being in corporate.
Yeah, you learn how to be organized.
Because, having meetings and Zoom meetings on different days, different times, and different rooms in the building and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've applied that organization into my personal life.
Yeah.
And it's done me wonders, bro.
Yeah.
But it's also depressing. Because then you go look at that month view, and you look at the little bubbles that are filled up with things to do, and then the things that are not filled up with shit to do. Bro, and it's just sad to see how many days are free. Right, there's nothing free because you're so busy doing
and that's why I started doing that. I
got one too. Yeah,
so at least I know, like, hey, that's the most important shit, so I can't forget.
So it's like that's some adult shit, bro.
Yeah, but dude, like that's fucking it's gnarly.
And then with the amount of projects we work on, for different people, different deliverables.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like that's why I have the calendar now, the whiteboard. That my girl got me because she's like, fool. Like you can't just keep that shit all in your head, bro.
Yeah, dude.
And then I'm like 420 friendly over here.
Yeah.
I'm like in la la land, forgetting shit,
Right, exactly. So I mean, dude, that's part of the game, and for me, I think I take it as, hey, I'm still learning this shit, right?
Yeah.
Like we started this YouTube channel. Simply, it was Harleys and Grubs. That's what it was called. And then it turned into always
doing food.
Yeah, we're just because we're like, fuck it, we always eat. We ride Harleys, like let's fucking do it,
Hell yeah.
And then this name, fucking, you know how I got this name?
I like the name, so clean,
dude. So it was Josh from 2 Lane Live, right?
Okay.
He changed his personal Instagram to I'm always riding places. I'm like, I texted him. I was like, hey, yo, let me jog this shit from you. He's like, all right. I was like, say less.
Say less.
Fucking changed everything. LLC, the company, like all that. I was like, fucking, yep, that's our name. And it ended up working out,
Yeah, I like it. And then the Everywhere USA.
Yeah, that's
fucking sick.
That's hard, bro.
That's marketing 101.
Like always riding places everywhere USA. Because
that's some quality shit, bro.
It's kind of whack if you put like LA, not whack, but it's
fuck that. Or California.
Yeah.
SoCal. Nah.
Everywhere,
homie.
Yep. So that's how that fucking came along. And you want to know the name of the podcast is 1.5 Bagger? You know why it's called 1.5?
Why?
Andrew has a bagger. I have to have a bagger.
Oh my god.
So now people can actually see this and understand why it's called 1.5 Bagger Podcast.
Wow.
So a lot of it is just trolling, but it works. It's funny.
That's fucking sick, bro.
So it was like we didn't know what to call it.
And then what you've done is, are you the graphic designer who kind of creates all these little things?
I made all this logo.
That's so sick, bro.
Yeah, like I'm not like you tell me to draw. I can't draw, but I know like certain placements for wording and make it clean and what I mean.
You know your way around Photoshop and typography and shit like that. That's what content creators are, though. You gotta be like, you can't just be a videographer. You gotta be a videographer, photographer, editor, graphic designer,
dude. Yeah,
a little bit of everything, and that's really what makes a polished, content creator nowadays. You need to be a little bit of everything. You gotta know how to do interviews. You gotta know how to do event coverage. You need to know how to do product stuff. You need to know how to do a lifestyle stuff with people. You know what I mean? Like,
right. And that's why I kind of like I needed a space like this, like almost like I don't want to say the word creative, but it is a creative
space. Yeah,
and it's more like let me experiment. I rarely shoot product photos, so it's like let me experiment with lighting, with different type, with different fucking like the wood box that I had the sunglasses on.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that was like a random fucking Apple box. And I was like, oh, this might work, and you play around and it's like I can practice and you just
and when it comes down to like creative stuff, it's crazy how much Mickey Mouse goes into that type of shit to create some cool ass thing. Like you're using fucking a fish line, you're hanging shit, you have duct tape and gaff tape to do certain things, and you get in the shop and then you put it on the computer, you Photoshop some imperfections out of there and you clean it up and then boom, you got a beautiful fucking image. You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
It's as long as you understand that it's all about you being creative
and you make it work.
And you make it work.
Yeah,
you could create some high quality shit.
And that's a funny thing. Like people watching this probably think we have a whole setup. I just want to make it very clear. Like you're watching YouTube right now. It's being filmed on a fucking DJI Pocket, like DJI Osmo,
a little mini
on a little tripod connected to a Mac, and it's kind of like it's funny, but it works. It's like works, you never think.
No, it's all how. Me and my girl, she's a photographer too.
Right. Does she have the same cameras as you, or you guys kind of share the setup?
No, she has a A6400 with a Sigma 24-70 2.8. She just recently kind of like started like fucking around with it like full time. And she's fucking killing it. For that,
good
like
for her, dude.
That girly stuff, couple stuff, engagement, weddings, elopements, and just like studio stuff with like bourgeois, pretty feminine stuff. She fucking knows how to like capture an essence of like people's love. I guess.
Yeah, and girls have that like females, not girls, like female have that like the eye for that shit that we fucking probably don't.
No, bro, and it's like she'll see something in a photo that I just wouldn't normally see, and I wouldn't even have thought of seeing it that way. So it's like
I feel like for women like that are photographers, they'll rather push up quality than quantity. Where us, I feel like we're a little bit more quantity.
Yes,
we'll compromise on the quality to a certain extent, just to like, wow, we're fucking over this. Like, just get it out, get it down.
So definitely, she has like the different. It's cool balance.
Right.
We recently just did like work together. She'll get hired to do the photos.
Right.
Do video. We did it for like a quinceañera. We did it for like a car show recently.
Right.
Well, actually, not recently, a couple months ago. And it's dope being able to have a partner like who's creative like that and be able to like she'll show me her edits. Oh, what do you think about this? Edit before I deliver it to like my client, and I'll be like X, Y, and Z, and then vice versa. Every single time I finish a video edit, I'm always running to her. Hey, what do you think? And then she'll be like, I'm just like,
because it's like missing like that little,
something. Or she'll be like, no, that shit is fire. It's just perfect. Because I'm second guessing myself. You know what I mean?
We all do.
So
every single one of us do. And if you don't do that, like I call bullshit.
Yeah, no, for real, bro. But there's also like a little level of imposter syndrome that you eventually get. You know what I mean?
And like that's how I feel, dude. Because I'm like, am I really like that? Or
it's literally.
I feel like I fucking suck compared to you. Compared to others.
No, I feel the same way. You know what I mean? Like, and it comes down to I think we have different eyes, like different like lenses.
Yeah.
And we see and shoot our way, and you don't see it the same way I see it, and vice versa. You know what I mean? We're like, we actually both put out pretty quality shit, and but we don't think that. You know what I mean? But others around us clearly
see it. And I'm like, holy shit! These people are paying me, and like, am I like? I always make sure like I have like 4 or 5 clients on like retainers. And I'm always like scared, like, hey, what if I don't deliver? But then I'm like, eh. But I send it to them, and they're like, oh my God, so much. Yeah, they're loving it. I'm like, fuck yeah, like, all right, like it's a little scary, but it's like, but yeah.
With me, it was like what solidified it to me is getting that permanent position over at Southern.
Yeah. So how did I was gonna get into that. Like, how did you get linked up with the Sullen dude? Because they are pretty fucking big.
Yeah.
Well, they are huge.
They're the
tattoo game.
They're the number one tattoo clothing line in the world.
Right. Right.
And so the way that happened was my homie Mohawk Matt. So as I'm shooting these V-Class shows and kind of making a name for myself as a photographer, videographer.
Right.
I met this dude named Mohawk Matt.
Mm-hmm.
He's a cool friend of me now, but he's into like the LA culture. He's all tatted from his face, head, all over the place.
Right.
And I didn't really know he was so tied up with Southern, but apparently he was. And I would always link up with him to shoot like urban stuff. So for like Servants, for Sub Food, a bunch of Strive for Glory, my homies, clothing line. So I would shoot for him, for free.
Right.
All the shit for free. So like I would benefit because Servants would then post my photos. They'll tag me. Fucking Sub Food would post my photos. They'll tag me, and you gotta give them to get. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much how I got a hold of him. We got real cool, and then eventually he asked me, "Hey, you want to shoot some Southern stuff?" And I did. But he's like, it's gonna be for free.
Yeah.
A photographer already shot it, but if you want just experience and they'll post it, say less. I'll do it. So I did that for like a couple months, and then the opportunity came up to like actually freelance.
Right.
I met Jeremy over at Southern. He's one of the co-owners, and sat me down and was like, "All right, I like your shit. Give you a couple rounds and we'll go ahead and keep you in rotation."
Yeah.
Very little work, just once a month, couple t-shirts, but eventually the work kept coming in.
Right.
I got better at doing it, and I did that for like a year, and then it was last December that's
when we first met. You were still like
freelancing.
You were still freelancing. You were just in like still talking
phases.
Yeah.
Yes. So the opportunity happened where they needed somebody full time. No more freelance. They were going to stop doing the freelance thing, and they wanted somebody in house. And I fit the bill of photos, video, editing,
and price.
And the price. You know what I mean? Like I had been doing all this. Technically, I was shooting streetwear stuff, and then motorcycle stuff.
Right.
So, and I was shooting some tattoo stuff because I got hired at a tattoo shop, and I was like, I'm doing a retainer for them.
Right.
So I had experience with tattoo stuff as well. So it wasn't just clothing. So it was clothing, tattoo, and motorcycles.
Right.
It's kind of like in the same realm of things. You know what I mean?
Of course.
So I was pretty polished in that degree. I got a bunch of tattoos. The dude liked me. I provide quality work. I came for the last 10 years from a corporate background.
Right.
So the position as content manager is shooting, editing, and providing content on all socials, as well as all the website, lifestyle photos of the stuff in gear.
Right.
Going, shooting conventions, a little bit of everything.
Right.
So they wanted somebody in-house. The opportunity happened. Now I'm doing this shit full time. But it's not just the creative aspect that they hired me.
Yeah.
It's the corporate background with the creative.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty much in an office,
Because now you have structure.
Yes.
And I feel like a lot of companies, like I don't want to say any company that are failing, but every company has that weak spot where they need structure,
So they were doing everything freelance, so everything was kind of wishy-washy.
Yep.
Now I'm like, all right, this needs to be done.
And it's more organized. It's more like, hey, you're paving that road, and everyone else around.
They're providing me the resources to make it happen.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
As long as you follow that road, everything will work out.
Yeah. So they've given me that opportunity to kind of like take that on, and not a lot of people could say that, which is super sick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Definitely grateful for the opportunity, and literally Monday through Friday, I'm just shooting content and shooting dope content for dope company doing dope shit, So
do you ever get in a creative rut?
Yeah. Who doesn't?
Yeah.
I've just learned to step away. You gotta just step away, walk the dog, do something to kind of get your mind off of it.
Yeah.
And then goes back and sit down, because before I would like try to force it, and I'm over here trying to like do something and I can't finish it because I'm like, damn, how should I transition this into that? Like, fuck, like, you know, you get stuck, and I'll catch myself sitting there for like an hour and then realize I didn't do nothing.
Damn.
So like if I would have just walked away for like 10-15 minutes, I think you know, like you get like unstuck a little bit,
Right.
and be able to kind of like execute a little better.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of more or less what I do when I get like in a little kind of rut like that.
Yeah.
What also happens is you get burnt out,
dude.
So like burnout, I feel like it's different from the creative rut. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I feel like I think they're two different categories. You know, you could be in a creative rut and you could be burnt out and still be creative, but you're burnt out, so you can't produce because you're burnt the fuck out.
And I think in a way, I think that's where I'm at for the last like since Arizona Bike Week, dude. Like,
no, that's where you got to figure out either structure, like as far as editing, like you got to keep things kind of the same, and you build that, you focus really hard on that template to make things smoother for yourself, or you need more fucking help.
Dude, it is. I think I've been telling, like, I want to fucking hire an editor, but the problem is my standard is so high because I'm not trying to like sound cocky by any means, but it has to be something that I prove that you can stand behind. Yeah,
confidently.
Exactly, and it's like not everybody's style is the same.
No,
you know, and it's like, fuck, dude, like who do I hit up? Like who has the time? Like,
and then sometimes you find the person who has the skill set but don't have the time.
Yeah, so it's like Andrew, right, dude? We bought a second Sony. We bought like different gear for the channel simply because he's the co-host.
Yeah.
So I'll be shooting something. I love you, Andrew, but god damn, hand him the camera. He'll shoot a bunch of photos, and I fucking use 2. It's like we don't have that eye, you know, because he's so new at it, you know. Like, we bought a drone, all this shit. I try to, like, you know, it's just like I tried using it, and I don't have that creative thing, and I'm like, all right, and like I'm trying to teach Andrew so that way, but it's still a process.
It's
like
a process. It's not gonna happen overnight. There's a lot of trial and error.
Right, and I can't. It's like with everything, I can't teach him how. Like I can't teach Andrew how to draw. He has to find his own style.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like you said, we all have full-time jobs. Fortunately enough, like some have more time than others.
Yeah.
And he has a full-time job doing.
So his job is, I mean, the time is limited.
Yeah, super limited. You know, so
obviously the growth XP points is gonna grow slower than normal.
You know, but when it comes to the vlogging shit, he's got it down because we do that so much now. But it's different if we're filming with the client. Like, I wouldn't say would rely on him, but I would rely on like, hey, capture B-rolls. Yeah. Because B-rolls are more easy to get away with compared to like the main subject.
The A-shot.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's where it is too. It's like, man, you need to find a team, and like, luckily for you, like you have your girl.
Yeah.
So it's a little easy.
She's definitely she comes in clutch. You know, when I have shoots, you know, she'll help me. When she has shoots, I'll help her. Yeah. And obviously that's gonna help her grow and me grow. You know, she has her studio now. So like now we have like a little space where we actually have like a date later today, a creative date. Where we're gonna go there and just try to like fuck with lighting techniques and just nerd out, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's fucking sick, dude. And not many people could say that and do that, so I'm super lucky, you know, that you know that my fiance and I have the opportunity to be able to get creative together in like the same regard
and kind of nerd out. Yeah, like how we nerd out on shit, but you just have somebody to do it with 24/7.
Exactly, bro. So it's fucking badass, you know what I mean? And then she has, like I said, a different style and a different eye than me, so I'm really not for her, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and
vice versa. Like obviously, I'm like I know things from a technical side when it comes down to photo and video. So like obviously if anything like I'm noticing on her camera settings or if she's experiencing any issues, like I know how to correct it, you know what I mean? So like she's obviously growing rapidly in a sense because she's, you know, I'm kind of hooking her up with all like the right way to go about things. Hey, this happened to my camera or this is happening. Okay, well, it's because of this, and that.
And that's the thing. That's the shit we had to learn by trial and error. Where she has like a cookbook with all the ingredients, and it's like, damn, I wish I had that when we're coming up.
But it's good because then what happens when I do that? Because I do it also for like my homie Nate, who also works at Sullen, and he kind of nerdy, starting out with computers. I like email him. He's nerding out as well. And he'll call me or FaceTime me. Fucking show me Premiere Pro, his screen. Why is it doing this?
Oh, that's right. You edit with Premiere, huh?
Yeah, you do DaVinci Resolve, huh?
DaVinci's the way, dude. I have Adobe too. At least my shit don't crash.
My shit never crashed. You know
what's
really? Like, I've seen it. Obviously, it's like a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where Premiere crashes and people hate it, and it's like memes and shit like that. I never.
But the thing is, what's the longest video you've edited?
Oh. Is that what it is?
Because Josh from Tulane, they edit like 30 to 40-minute episodes.
So like I'm talking maybe tops 15 minutes.
Yeah, if that. But for the most part, you're doing shorts.
Yeah.
So,
for Sullen, yes.
Yeah.
But for other work, it does get into the 15 minutes.
Right.
Like that, but I guess that's still not in the band.
Near fucking 40. I remember, dude, we put out one episode that was 40 minutes long,
and
but it was
crashing.
No, never crashed.
On DaVinci Resolve.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you would have done it on Premiere?
Oh, guarantee it would have crashed. It was 4K.
Ooh, heavy. You don't fuck with proxies?
No, well, at the time I was using a Mac Mini. And then this year I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna get the Mac Studio Max, which is the biggest one you can buy. I was like, fuck, dude, like I use the computer every day. And it's like it's worth the investment.
You gotta get your money.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's where I'm kind of at. I'm like,
I'm running a PC.
Yeah, but
my sister's like a computer nerd.
Yeah.
So I just told her what I wanted. Yeah. And she went to Tustin. There's like this spot like Micro Center.
Okay. Yeah.
Micro Center. And she pulled up with me and talked to the fucking sales rep, like, my brother needs this for video editing and da-da-da-da-da. And then I walked out with a nice little, she asked me what shell did I want. I wanted this nice little wood one and shit like that.
Dude, see, sometimes I do wish I had a PC because, dude, my buddy built a PC and he put a fucking Lego, like, Porsche inside it and the glass see-through.
So I have
that is so cool.
I had, I guess, like, my little temperature shit.
Yeah.
It has an LCD screen, so I have I'm into like Naruto, so I have the fucking shotty gun.
That's
just spinning the different, levels of the shotty gun, just spinning right there in that thing. The tubes are fucking red, like
that's fucking.
It's sick as fuck. So
yeah. So now we're pretty much, dude. 2025 flew by. Like you've done a lot, dude, and it's fucking sick. Like I've always been stoked to see the homies just progressing and seeing where you've been and how far you came since I met you, right? It's like,
and a lot of that has to do with working with Sullen and being now having to do like photos, video, product, shorts, talking head stuff. I don't know, you see it all the time. Like I get mine and I get all these people who are like, and I put the captions and I'm lighting them up clean and just trying to make it look as they're talking. There's products showing like,
and there's not like a right way or a wrong way to do it. It's fucking trial and error.
And it is. Every single time I'm like editing it differently or dialing it a little bit here and there and changing things up. My exposures and just kind of just learning. And Sullen is giving me that opportunity to be able to do this in a high level.
Yeah.
Fast pace. So
it forces you to like do or die.
Yeah, you're do or die, and I've been growing rapidly in the last 6 months because of the abundance of work that I have on my plate.
Right, and a part of me is like I've been contemplating, like, dude, I know if I quit my full-time job, like I can make this shit work.
Oh, for sure.
And have a bunch of clients and I can focus on them, but it's like, fuck, dude, it's a big fucking risk.
And with me, I was freelancing for that 8 months because I got laid off of my corporate job from Herbalife. So I was doing freelancing with Sullen, Espinosa, Westside, Throttle Roots, like all the people who I made relationships with, in the motorcycle scene. You know what I mean? Luckily, I'm blessed enough that they like my work and they want to work with me. And then Sullen came in and were like offering me the full-time job. So like at that point, I got the benefits, got the salary job.
Yeah.
So like I'm covered like I was when I was working at Herbalife.
Yeah.
So like I'm blessed to be in this situation. And so like now I'm like doing side work.
Yeah.
While I'm working Monday through Friday as a creative.
Exactly.
So not only like obviously not all my new clients that I'm working with now are benefiting because I feel like I've leveled up in like such a quick time in the last 6 months with you know the amount of work I've been pushing out with Sullen, you know what I mean? So
yeah, 100%, and that's where like for me like that's where I have to make the adult decision of like I'm not gonna say what company I work for, but but you know like that's my full-time job is customer relations. Like it has nothing to do with media, but
being
the company,
creative or anything
the companies happen to be one of it is the biggest apparel company in the motorcycle scene, you know, just like Solon with tattoos.
Yeah.
And I have the benefits. I work from home, you know, so it's like I have to make that adult.
You got to make the decision like either you're gonna jump and be a creative full time with you doing it as a freelancer,
right?
Or you're gonna jump to a position where they're gonna offer you a salary position and offer you the benefits as a creative.
Exactly.
So. But is that opportunity there right now? Maybe, maybe not.
Exactly.
So you might have to go the freelance route, which being the freelancer, it is always a risk. You know what I mean?
And for me, like I think about my future, right? Like what if I have kids or I need the insurance? I have 401k where I'm at. Like I'm set.
Yeah.
You know, like shit that fucking 20-year-old Cody would not even blink an eye on.
Right.
You know, so it's like, dude, it's just
it's a scary place to be, but also like you got to think about it as a very blessed position because it's like
it's a good problem to have.
It's a good problem because you could also not be in this position to be thinking about this, and you're just like, all right, well, I'm right here, and I'm here, and I'm stuck here, and this is all I'm gonna be.
No, 100.
So this is a good problem, you know.
It is a good problem for sure.
Still annoying.
It's still like fuck, because I have people like. Dude, if you quit your job, I'll guarantee you work. It's like I need that shit on paper, dude. Like, I need that shit on paper.
And again, I did it for the 6 months, 7-8 months, and it was scary.
Yeah.
But I was so locked in with Sullen, and they were taking care of me on a monthly basis because these guys dropped like 10 to like 15 shirts every 2 weeks. So like on a monthly basis, they're dropping like 30 different styles of t-shirts. So I'm having to shoot all of these products on multiple people and create reels and videos and all sorts of things, talking head stuff about these drops. They're in different capsules, getting all the PNGs and make sure I create all these assets for these separate, you know, like they have me busy. Right. So not everybody has that situation. So like, 100%. But everything happened because again, I feel like good things happen to good people. You know what I mean? I wasn't lucky that I was getting that work. Yeah. I was deserving of the work.
Don't you fucking you worked for it. You worked for that opportunity.
And then the opportunity came up where it became a full-time gig, and I had the opportunity to be like, all right, do I continue doing freelance full-time and just tell this who's, you know, thinking, but I'd rather be a freelancer, or I take this on full time, figure things out as far as my day to day, and then later on open my books up again because I had my books closed for a minute because I wanted to be professional, figure out what they needed from me on a weekly and monthly basis. Yeah, now be able to provide, do it, succeed, and also show out. Right. And then now I figured that I dialed in my structure of what I do week in and week out and how I shoot and what I provide, and I've created processes and procedures. You know, all that nerdy shit that people don't understand that you know, like because of the corporate experience that I've had in the background, I'm able to do that. And then now I'm taking on, you know, like freelance clients. And I'm a full-time creative Monday through Friday, and I'm still being a freelancer. So it's like, I can't complain. You know what I mean? I'm so fucking lucky to be in this position. Like a year ago, would have never, like a year and a half ago, would have never thought that. Oh, 100%. This was even possible because I mean I don't come from like I'm not educated in that sense that I've gone to college and got a degree. Like I've gone to high school, got my high school diploma, and after that I worked my way up through the corporate experience and from the call center to the back end, you know, data inputters and then training, and then from there I went to like more like compliance and like sales and then I'm talking salary positions, you know what I mean, stuff like that. So like, but that took in like 10 years of me grinding it out since I was like not 20 years old. So from 20 to 30, I was just grinding the corporate ladder and making my way up, you know. And luckily, I mean, even then, I was making the kind of similar money as I am now, as a corporate, you know, dude traveling, doing sales stuff, But like now I'm doing it as a creative, which I didn't think it was possible because I applied for like creative stuff at Herbalife, but since it wasn't on paper. It's kind of like, because it's a corporate world. They're like, we need you to have like at least an associate's degree in video editing or anything like that. They're like, you've just been freelancing on the side. I mean, like, it wasn't legit to them.
And that's the crazy shit, right? You have 17-year-olds cranking out special effects edits like no tomorrow. And I'm like, dude, these kids are still in fucking high school cranking this shit out. Like, fuck.
It's dope. I mean, I give them props because they're able to do it, you know.
And that's the thing, like, dude.
But they don't understand that not everything comes from school.
And you know what's crazy? I went to film school.
Oh shit! Okay.
I have a bachelor in film, right?
Okay.
Went to LA Film School, got a bachelor. Fucking learned what is that program? What was it? It's not the Avid.
I knew it,
dude.
That's like old school shit.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, this is whack. Like, I honestly, I've never touched Avid after film school.
No way.
Like, dude, I'd rather use Final Cut Pro.
Dude. And I've never seen it. Like, I don't know what the software platform even looks like. I've heard of it.
Think of like Sony Vegas.
No.
Do you remember Sony Vegas?
I don't. But
my god!
I also don't know that platform. That's real. I'm telling you, I started in 2020. So like, I don't know nothing prior to that. So all I know is Premiere Pro.
Yeah. So I started
Final Cut. Yeah. That was like around the time.
Let's put it this way. I've been in this shit for too long to where like we were making quick scope edit for World at War.
Whoa. Yeah, you see, you've been in it for a while.
On Avid.
Yeah, no.
You know, like Call of Duty. Remember buying the Elgato fucking recording box? I remember dude, filming edits, making quick scope fucking edits for YouTube and all that shit, you know?
That's crazy. No. Definitely you got more experience.
Like, as far as longevity, oh dude, I'm a vet in this shit. But it's just crazy to see like how, like I said, like we talked about, right? How easy access that people have nowadays, and like there's no excuse for it, you know. And like, tell me if you agree, but I feel like whatever you do, like as long as you're consistent,
I was just telling my girl about that. Like, consistency is over everything, because like anybody could be anything if you want to be. Like, you know, there's some things that you either have or you don't. You know, like having an eye. But unfortunately, fortunately, with consistency, you can train your eye. So, you know, but then you also see some people, because you're a creative too, where you see them do some wild ass shit, and you're just like, this crazy creative motherfucker. Like, this guy's a fucking creative. It's not that he's just good, he's also just creative. But people could train their eye to be super creative.
Well, you know? It's just like how you ride a motorcycle, seat time. You can go take a class, it'll teach you certain things, but life is what's giving you that repetitiveness, you know. And it's like,
what I always recommend when it comes down to motorcycle riding and like getting your XP points up is taking them to Angel's Crest.
It's just
all right,
seat time. You
take somebody to Angel's Crest, bro, not knowing, and I'm not saying like up straight newbie. Like, I'm saying like somebody who knows how to ride, you know, in traffic and lane split and be decent, you know what I mean? But not great, with not a lot of experience. I've taken some people to Angel's Crest and myself to Angel's Crest to go rip that fucking canyon and fucking learn to downshift and upshift and fucking, you know when to give it gas and carve that, you know, corner and stuff like that. And then you come down fucking back to the fucking 101 or the 2 or whatever the fuck it is, into regular traffic, and you're just like, whoa. This shit is so easy now. Because you just came down fucking doing the most and making it happen. You know what I mean?
Seat time.
You know, in the beginning, you know, you see you got like a tail of fucking cars following you because you're fucking, you know,
overshooting every corner.
You're slow, and you know what I mean? You have to kind of pull over to the side and let them fucking pass you up. Like, you know, let them pass so you can go ahead and go. Like, that's part of the process, and like, you gotta love it. And I feel like that's the best way to fucking learn to ride and shit like that. Because then you do that a couple of times, you'll fucking come back.
You know what? I remember, like, I started this YouTube channel and I told myself, I was like, I'm gonna stick to something for once in my life because I get bored really easily. I'm not saying I give up on it, but I'm like, I lose inspiration, I lose motivation.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, you know what? No, I'm gonna fucking pursue this shit, and we're gonna just keep going and do it. Like, who the fuck am I? I'm an Asian dude that rides a fucking Harley that you don't really fucking see, right?
Right.
I just happen to know be good behind the camera and all this shit, and it's like consistency is like we try to do at least 2 vlogs a month.
Yeah.
With our schedule, like me and Andrew's, and I was like, you watch certain video, you're like, wow, like that shit kind of like
every episode's gonna be better.
Yeah.
And then like, dude, the crazy thing is you got some people like in the Midwest on YouTube, bro, dropping some crazy trash videos.
Yeah.
Getting the most views.
Yep.
Cooking, making money off of it, bro.
100%.
So it's like, it's not because that guy has cool angles.
Yeah.
It's not because that guy has the best personality.
Yeah.
And he's the coolest looking dude. No.
Yeah.
He's just some old, white dude.
Yeah.
Out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Just have his little, not even his freaking GoPro, like a freaking iPhone or something like that, just on a tripod, and then he's just talking and just saying shit.
And it's consistency.
But he's posting it consistently.
Yep.
That's literally it. And if you have the equipment to make things cinematic and make shit
game over,
it's game over.
Yeah.
But guess what? Just because you have it doesn't mean you're gonna succeed.
Exactly. So, but what goes with this consistency? You know what I mean? Like, I don't think a lot of people understand. Like, this shit takes a lot of time, effort, money. You know what I mean? And yeah, like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, this year, I was like, fuck that. I'm done going to all these little shows. I'm told Andrew we're gonna focus every opportunity we can to like spend time doing this podcast.
Yeah.
Yesterday I was doing other shit for Power Plant and building relationships and making these vlogs and all that shit. You know?
It's grind time.
It's grind time, and and like I can humbly say, like, dude, I'm starting to see like, holy shit, like certain episodes will get like super low view, but the next one will get fucking crazy views. And then the one after
you kind of get discouraged when you see the low numbers.
Exactly.
Because it's like,
because I'll look back at some random video we put out, like, how the fuck did this shit get this many views?
Because later on it hits the algorithm.
And
you
don't
know, and you're just like,
and you just gotta keep pushing. You know,
gotta keep pushing. Yeah, for sure.
That's tight, dude. So now we're almost we're in the middle of 2025.
Yeah.
Do you have any plans, like any cool rides or anything like that planned?
Nothing. I want to for like I would say like September, October.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to go like either Arizona or like somewhere where it's gonna be not either too fucking hot and then not too cold.
Would you want to plan? Let's do a trip to Yosemite.
Oh, count me in.
Dude, I might need your help to like figure out the logistics behind it.
Oh, bro, I would gladly help out, bro. Yeah, I've been wanting to do some moto camping for a while, bro.
Camping.
No,
I need a shower.
Do Airbnb. No,
yeah,
we'll ride to an Airbnb.
We'll pay for it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
We need an Airbnb.
Right. Definitely bringing my lady with me. So yeah, she'll appreciate it.
Yeah, but that's sick.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, don't got any real big plans. I'm doing some traveling. I'm going to Romania.
Shit.
In August for fucking Sullen for a big convention out there. And they're gonna go, after the convention on Monday and Tuesday we'll go to Transylvania.
Oh shit.
See some crazy ass like castles and shit.
Shit.
It's gonna be pretty sick. So I'm pretty hyped about that one.
You know what, dude? I would like to plan a trip to like me and you. Fuck like me and you, and if your girl wants to come, cool, fuck everybody else, dude. Yeah. But we should do a trip to Iceland.
Fuck.
Dude, I
that shit is like
that's photography.
Yeah,
that's like a photographer's fucking dream, dude.
Bro. The landscape is beautiful. Yep. Fucking everything looks just cinematic and movie like.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, I want to go there so bad,
bro. Yeah, I want to start like I haven't traveled much, I went to Germany, or this like shout out to Southern. Like I went to Germany like in April.
Yeah, how was that?
That was dope, bro. It was for a convention. It was actually like the biggest. It's like the Super Bowl Grammy convention of like them all in the world.
How long were you guys there for?
It's probably like 5 days.
Oh shit!
I didn't really do too much, travel like sightseeing or anything like that, because
it was the convention.
It was a convention. I was doing same day edits. You know what I mean? So like shooting all day, jet lag because they're like 8 hours ahead.
Yeah.
And having to pump out edits in the middle of the night for the next morning, because it's like day one.
Yeah.
Hey guys, day one was great. Let's go on to day two. Like all that stuff, like real time. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I was doing all that. My girl was able to go to like some cathedral in like Cologne. The Cologne Cathedral is like some crazy like 700-year-old fucking like castle and shit. So she was able to do that. So I was just grinding out, just meeting like the coolest, most fucking dopest tattoo artists in the whole entire world. It was like an invitational convention. So like, just because you want to be a part of it doesn't mean you can.
Yeah.
It's like invite only.
Oh, of course.
So it was like the top of every style imaginable. Dude, so like every piece there was like fucking perfect. You know what I mean? So it was dope. But I'm excited for Romania to be able to actually like spend 2 days after.
Oh, so you guys are going with Sullen and then you guys staying later, or?
I'm gonna be with Sullen. Okay. All right. So what happened is all these tattoo artists from all over the world go to this convention, and then after like all of them kind of rent out a bus. So it's gonna be super sick and super inclusive with the dopest and the biggest legends of the game. So we're gonna be in the same bus with them, the same hotel. And gonna be having dinners with all these crazy people, and like, dude, it's fucking gonna be epic, bro.
Fuck yeah! So, see, like you're deep into the tattoo world.
Yeah, well, not really, just because of Sullen.
Yeah,
they found me in there. You know what I mean? Like with the motorcycle, I got like Espinosa. Like. So I'm blessed to be fucking with like the coolest fucking brands in the two worlds that I fuck with. Which is motorcycles and tattoos, which is like,
and that's the crazy thing, lucky. Dude. Like,
and anybody could do that though. Yeah. Like if you're into fucking car shit, like JDM shit, bro, you better get on fucking Facebook anywhere or fucking type in the hashtag and find your local little meets and shit like that and start shooting that and tagging the fucking little crews. And the organizers, and guess what? Oh, damn, the organizer's going to see that your work is dope. If it is dope, right. That's dope. Hey, you down to come out? We have a shoot here or a meet up here. Mm-hmm. We'll pay you X amount for you to come shoot it. Are you down? Right. Boom. And now you're the guy in that scene. Right. You made it, and which you make it. Yeah. It's not like you were like giving it. You just made it. And you have to like do shit for free.
Of course.
Get noticed. And then the opportunities will happen if you're consistent with it. If I were to ever want to go ahead and get into whatever the fuck, like I know what I need to do to get in there.
No, 100%, and that's why I was like, it's
which
crazy,
is
like
super cool.
Yeah, and being on social media, dude. Social media is the biggest fucking thing because I got linked up with Power Plant, right? And Power Plant is like the OG in the chopper scene in LA, right? Yaniv started this whole, I would say, a movement. Yeah, super humble dude, and I remember like. This dude, Stogie Steve, hits me up on Instagram back in like November or December. I was like, hey, my buddy's building a bike for Born Free. I want to connect you guys. And I'm like, yeah, you and everybody else, pal. Kind of a dick. But I'm like, dude, I just don't have the time. And then in March, he hits me up again. He was like, hey, man, like, I just want to link you guys up, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm going to tag you in some of his photos. He fucking tagged Power Plant. And I'm like, motherfucker.
You should have fucking said that, bro.
Yeah, you should have said that. And then the next day I met up with him, and then now I'm just helping him like rebrand, doing all the marketing, like talking now. I'm like I'm like the communicator between Power Plant and corporate Harley Davidson.
That's so sick.
And like working with like fucking like, dude, I'm communicating with Bell Helmets, all these other brands, but with me having my own platform, like always writing places too, I have to separate the two, right? Yeah. And I don't think, I mean, when you say that's an issue, like not really.
Like conflict of interest?
Yeah.
Shit. I mean, with permission.
Yeah.
With proper permission, I don't see it.
Yeah. And for me, that's why like I don't promote other brand. Like for us, for always writing places, even for me personally, we rock like Torque helmets. Yeah. But for Power Plant, like he works with Bell helmets.
More of that chopper style,
whatever, right? But hey, that's his relationship. Yeah. I'm technically working for him. Like that's my other job or side job that I'm helping out with and stuff like that. But it's just like it's like me linking up with one person gets me to that. And now through Power Plant, I have all these other connections personally.
And that's
networking.
Yeah. And being, but again, not everybody has the access to be able to do that because you have to be not only, you got to make sure you bring value.
Yeah, 100%.
If you bring value and you're a good person,
right,
and good shit's gonna happen.
Yeah.
That's literally it. I feel like that's the formula for me, and that's the formula that I've kind of done with this kind of content creation and the relationships that I've built and stuff like that, with it, whether it's street brands, motorcycle stuff, tattoo stuff, clothing brand stuff. It's all relationships. All the people who in opportunities that I've gotten were all based upon that person that literally just likes me.
Right.
And literally, it's crazy what just being a good person and building relationships and being genuine can do. You know what I mean?
100%. And I feel like people don't understand what
and you can't fake it either. It's so fucking noticeable when you fake it, and when it's not genuine and it's not for real, and you're just trying to get clout chase, or you're trying to just trying to like force yourself into it and just say that you're a part of it, or
you can notice it a mile
away. So it's like, if you're gonna do that, make sure that you're coming from the right place,
right,
and that you mean well, and then like again, things will positively happen.
I feel like my biggest advice to people, let's say, like how I got connected to Josh at Tulane was, dude, I put my pride aside and I literally hit him up on Instagram. I was like, hey dude, like I love your work. Let me take you out to lunch. Like I just want to pick your brain. I'll fucking lunch is on me or dinner, whatever you want. Let me just pick your brain. Cool. We went on a little rip, and then dude, we just talked for like an hour, and that's how you built that relationship.
Yep.
To now we're personal friends, and it's like just like me and you, right? Like it's networking, and that's networking. Like I just hit you up, like, dude, I love your fucking work. Like you're fucking rad, dude. Like that's it. You know, and then everything else will follow.
Yep.
But just be upfront on what your intentions are.
Yeah. And you know how it is in this scene.
Yeah, like that's why I was like, I know Josh is fucking famous. Like Josh has a name to himself in the Harley. He works with Harley, with Tulane, and all these cool brands. But I was upfront. I didn't bullshit him trying to get his in his brain. I should have told him, like, hey, dude, like, and then we just happened to end up being friends and, you know,
being where you're at now.
Being where we're at now. And it's kind of like our relationship. It was like, I hit you up, I love your work. I don't even know how we started talking.
I think it was just mutually. We fucking seen each other's shit. We're both into motorcycles. We both are like content creators. And
I was like, fuck, dude, I gotta connect myself. And just kind of like surround myself with people that I want.
It gets to a point, like I said, you need to do that, at least if you're smart, to build these relationships with these other content creators, to build a team for whenever the time comes or you need it. Yeah. Because there's going to be a time where I'm given a big enough budget where I'm like, all right, I'm going to need to this requires 3 men to make this happen.
Right.
So I'm going to have to break this fool off, but at least I know somebody who I trust, who has the quality work that I'm looking for.
Or at least have the resources to make it happen.
So like, I fit that bill, you fit that bill, like for each other, you know what I mean? So like, whether it doesn't, like, whether we're not doing anything right now,
who knows
what the fuck is gonna happen later on. So it's better to have the relationship locked in now than wait for it to be like a last minute thing and stuff like that. And like I said, it's all genuine. It's not like we're trying to force anything, you know?
No,
we generally both fuck with each other. Yeah, we're into the same shit. And you're Sony gang, legally.
Yeah,
I'm Sony, so we related that in regard.
And that's the thing, dude. It's like, I just feel like you need to have that because who knows, dude? Like, I've needed your help before. I'm like, dude, I'm burned out. Like, how do you get through it? Or I straight up asked you for your secret sauce. Yeah. And I was like, hey, can you hook me up with some LUTs? He's like, say less. Fucking send me every LUT. I'm like, cool. So, so if you see my video, watch Luna, you can tell it's the same shit.
There's some sauce that we're sharing.
But it's not like, I respect it. I don't copy your style.
No, you know, it's not that. But even if you did, there's no really copy really. It's like oh, because I see shit, I'm just like, oh shit, I gotta do more of that. Like, I need to do it like this because clearly that shit look dope. So like, guess what? I have to do that because it looks dope. Yeah. And then everything looks always different because everybody has different styles. And stuff
like no matter what, like it's different.
Yeah, like
you know,
it's all good. It's just different kinds of good. Yeah, you know what I mean, there's 100%. Different kinds of good food. You know what I mean? They look different, but they're just as good. You know,
same chef, just make 2 different food. Yeah, you know, but. That's cool, dude. I'm fucking happy that we got you on here and
I appreciate it, bro.
Shooting this shit with you.
How long have we been going on?
An hour and a half.
No way.
I'm telling you, if we had Andrew here at one point, we hit like 2 hours. We're like, all right, we need to
wrap it up.
We need to wrap it up. But yeah, dude, it's been a pleasure, man, and
Appreciate
I'm
you,
so
bro.
fucking stoked to see like you growing and seeing where
Likewise,
you're
bro.
taking, whatever you do, dude, like keep doing it and
Appreciate you, dog.
fucking love everything you do, dude.
Thank you, dog.
My dog. So yeah, with that being said, thank you, you guys for tuning in. Well, we have one viewer left. We went on too long. At one point, we had like 10, but now it's one. Yeah, we have another 10.
That's it, guys.
But no, thank you guys for watching. You guys can check out some of Luna stuff. What's your Instagram?
LunaVision.co.
There you go. And as always, you can find our merch at alwaysridingplaces.com. And we didn't really talk about this, but this episode is sponsored by Law Tigers. If you need lawyers, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS. Rawr. All right, peace out, guys. Oh wait, wrong one.
Let's go.
There you go.
Sick.
Oh, I wonder who's fucking watching. God damn.
Man, that's a long video.
Right.
What variable ND filter do you use?
Public Pro.
That's just good.